Aussizz Group. We are live from Aussizz Group Collins Street branch. Today we are talking about Victoria. But before we go into uh, the details of this thing, I would just like to introduce ourselves. My name is Diljan Singh, and I'm a migrant agent working with Aussizz branch at Collins Street. And with me today is Mr. Kamaljeet Singh. He's also a registered migrant agent working with Aussizz Group Collins Street branch. Welcome, Kamaljeet.
Hello,
And
Diljan. How are you?
very good, very well. It's nice to be back here for another live session. And guys, as everyone may be aware of, that the latest Victorian invitation round has happened today, and maybe it's still happening. We are expecting we have some more time, so maybe we will be having some more invitations. We just hope and let's see who are the lucky ones are today to receive the invitation. But as Kamaljeet, we can see the trend continues. So there's not much change in the professions and other stuff. So can you just put some more information and what are we seeing today?
Yes, Diljan. First of all, guys, if you've got any questions, you can leave us a comment. Today, we'll be discussing more about the invitation, which is pre-invite, we should call it
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right.
pre-invitation, which has been given by Victoria State. Again, from last 2 years, it was pretty frustrating for the applicants, who were living in Victoria because of this pandemic. We were struck, and a lot of candidates who might have moved out of the state are again thinking to come back. But yes, considering the invitations, Jan, it's pretty good news that Victoria has been very consistent now.
Yeah, that's right.
We
Yeah.
are looking at like more one or two invitations being given by the state.
Mhm.
Moreover, we have seen different sort of occupations. We'll be discussing those ones as we go along. But yeah, it is a good sort of a news
Mhm.
that candidates who are living and working in Victoria have been invited for 190 and
Oh, no,
491.
no. That's good news, folks, for everyone. And moving on further, I would just like to say that, like Kamaljeet has mentioned, that Victoria is very consistent this time around, and we expect a few rounds. We have seen a few regular rounds, and hoping that they have come up with a few more before the Christmas period. And moving on from here, I would just like to ask, like, what are the things we have seen? Is there any changes from the previous rounds, or is following the similar pattern?
Uh, Considering the previous round, I should say, Diljan, occupations which were being invited previously
Mhm.
were more focused on IT, health sector, and now we are also started seeing some of the other occupations like basically enrolled nurse was the
Okay.
one of the biggest question which was coming up to the minds of those candidates who were enrolled nurse.
Mhm.
Quickly, let's go through with some of the occupations.
Yep.
We'll share a couple of things with you guys, on what occupations the invitations have been given on and how many points, including state,
Okay.
Diljan, we will be, referring to.
Yep.
Again, with IT sectors, guys, we have seen computer network system engineer, we have seen software engineers, we have seen again CNSC coming on to software engineer again. ICT business analyst is one of those occupations which we are looking now. We are seeing a lot of invitations.
Mhm.
Moreover, security specialist, Diljan, was
Yep.
one of those occupations where candidates were getting frustrated on that why we are not being invited.
Absolutely. Yes, that's right.
But now we have seen the invitations given on ICT security specialist on 100 points.
Okay.
Given that, again, the package sort of thing we should focus on is, guys, that still
Mhm.
Victoria is picking up the candidates with strong packages.
Texas. Okay.
And yes, they are giving preference to skill level one jobs when
Okay.
it comes to 190 sort of occupations,
Mhm.
190 visas. But yeah, again, there are some candidates who have been working in skill level 2 and 3.
Three. Okay.
We are talking about IT candidates.
Mhm.
Moving on to, let's go on to engineering sector now.
That's right. Yeah.
So before we go on to engineering sector, Jan, it's good news about candidates, especially who are in Victoria, living and working in Victoria. We have seen a lot of students, international graduates who have, who recently moved to New South Wales,
Yeah.
but the way New South Wales is going on and the high points margin which they are, left
Absolutely.
students disappointed.
Mhm.
So I'll probably say, Victoria can be one of those states which can be more beneficial for you guys. The only requirement here is you must be living and working in Victoria either in your nominal occupation or skill level 1, 2, or 3. Considering, of course,
Mhm.
preference is given to the package. Uh, Moving forward with engineering, we are seeing engineering technologist has been invited for 491. We have seen a civil engineer being invited. We have seen mechanical engineer invited for 190. We have seen chemical engineer invited for 491. And moreover, we are seeing again another civil engineer working for 190 and another civil engineer. So we are seeing that, engineering professional occupations and technologists, one of them for 190 with 90 points
Mhm.
has been invited for Victoria 190, given that packages is one of those concerns
Yep.
which candidates have to, try to work out.
Yeah, right. That's what we have seen, say, with the IDC sector and the engineering sector. So they are still picking up people with a lot of points, 90 plus points, and then most of them have a very good package, and they're all working in mostly in skill level 1. So it is the trend shows that the Victoria is still, basically looking for the cream sort of cream on the top. So picking up all the applicants with nice points and nice packages. So is there any hope for people, those who are in the future, those who have sort of a bit of less package, or you can say a bit more less points, in the same field?
See again, Diljan, when we are saying into a less package, of course, when you're weighing up, if you've got a less package and if you've got high points, there are
Mhm.
chances
Okay.
that you might be invited. But considering that, okay, if I'm sitting on a low package and my points are 75 to 80,
Mhm.
I'll probably say the answer would be no
No.
in that case.
All right, guys, we have already started getting a lot of questions here. And like, I would just like to remind you that since we are uh, going live on a couple of like maybe 3 platforms at the same time, so it's very hard for us to answer each and every question. But we'll try our best and try to answer as many as we can in the allotted time. And moving on to this invitation on today. So have you seen any sort of 491s or more of the 190s that they are still focusing on?
I'll probably say we have seen both.
Okay.
Yes, considering 491 occupation where the candidate will be going ahead and making a sort of that 95 to 100 plus sort of margin.
Mhm.
But giving an example, we have seen 491 for software engineers on 95 points.
Mhm.
The candidate was working in skill level 1 job.
Mhm.
So yes, we are seeing both the 190 and 491. Moreover, we have seen enroll nurse for getting 190.
Good. Yeah, okay,
The
that's
given points was 75 to 80. We are talking two different candidates.
Mhm.
So yes, we are looking at Diljan that now Victoria. Even when we were doing the last live session,
Mhm.
when we had an invite, we had like one nurses, being invited. Enroll nurses we are
That's
talking about,
that's
not the
right. Yeah,
registered
yeah.
nurses. Yes. So we were assuming that Victoria will be giving more invitations to enroll
Mhm.
nurses as well. So we can see that now they are excuse me, they are picking up the candidates with high points. So
Okay.
basically, if we are talking about nurses, I'll probably advise that if you are an old nurse in Victoria,
Mhm.
you should try to obtain at least 75 to 85 points,
That's right. Okay.
so that there are high chances
For a
for getting
190.
invitations for 190. Yes.
All right. All right. We'll just start with taking our first question today, and it's from Gurinder Singh, and he's saying he's wanting to know is there any electrical engineer invited today? Or
See, yes, engineers have been invited. Okay,
Mhm.
given that they are focusing on points like 85 to 90.
Mhm.
So it's always good, if you are that type of a candidate who is working in your nominated occupation, you have done professionally, you'll be sitting on 90 points.
Mhm.
So yes, if Gurinder has lodged his, EUI plus ROI on those kind of points, plus his package is nice,
Mhm.
there are chances you might be, getting the invite as well.
All right, so that was Gurinder. Yes, you have, if you like Kamaljeet said, if you have like good points, you're sitting on a good point. So there's a lot of that's positive, and that's a great chances for you. And Venkatesh has told us today that he's got an invitation today as a civil engineer on 85 plus 5 points. So congratulations, Venkatesh. That's good news. And moving on, Sujan Bhandari wants to know if any chef is invited for 190 today.
See, Sujan, we also previously mentioned in regards to chef occupations, so they are giving preference to 491, and none of our chef has been invited. We are what data we are sharing about is more focusing on all this sort of data. But again, with 190, I don't think so. They are focusing on inviting any kind of
Anytime.
chef occupation or any other trade occupations. So you guys might have to wait, given that again there are a lot of number of seats. So there are chances that in future we might have, an up.
All right. So thanks for everyone. Thanks for joining and putting up all the questions and your queries. That encourages us to come live, and share information and have some informative sessions here. And like we're just talking about chef, there's another question which says from Manpreet Singh, and he says, any trade occupations invites today?
See, with the trade, it's pretty, people are getting frustrated now. I don't know what's happening with Victoria. They are only preferring candidates with IT sector, health sector, or engineering sector.
Mhm.
But we haven't seen any invitations given on that kind of a margin when it comes to trade occupations. So I'll probably advise, 491.
Mhm.
Guys, if you're a trade occupant holding a trade occupation, I'll probably say let's go with 491
Mhm.
occupations, and then there are high chances.
Yeah, like you're saying, like we're just talking about Victoria not issuing any pre-invites to trade occupations, and then still a shortage of staff, and it's labor shortage everywhere. So maybe they want whatever people left in Victoria to move out of state, So I don't know what they're thinking. But anyways, guys, our next question we would be taking is from Hisali, and she wants to know that any accountants for 190 invited today?
See, with accountants, guys, accountants have been invited for 491.
Okay.
Okay, so given that they were working in skill level 1 sort of a job, the invitation was given on 85 to 95 points, which is including the state for 491.
Okay.
So considering the client himself, if he's gone on to 85, 95, so it means he was holding 80
points,
independent points. So yes, we can see that for 491, a state has started inviting candidates who are holding occupation as an accountant. So, but again, given that the trade occupations, we are not seeing those many invites, whether it comes to chef or cook occupations. Okay, but yes, but the question for this answer is for 190, we haven't seen any invites for accountants, but for 491, yes, we have.
Okay. The next question is from Mukul Sharma, and he wants to know that, have there been any invites for offshore candidates?
None for us. We haven't seen any sort of, offshore candidates, but of course, Victoria has been very generous when it comes to offshore candidates. So, offshore in the sense, if you're holding a lot of work experience in regards to, your skill assessment on occupations, there are chances for offshore candidate as well. But points, we always prefer considering yourself 80 plus points would be a good one.
All right.
So yes, while we are, while Diljan is going through comments, guys, I just want to mention one thing. Like these invites, the session which what we are doing today are pre-invites given by a state, Victoria. Now Victoria, normally we are seeing they're very consistent with their invitations. We have seen every month or so they are giving us invitations, but pre-invite does not means your final invite. So we might see candidates who will be getting pre-invitations, and when you are lodging your nomination application, guys, just make sure that you read through the requirements of the state before lodging the nomination application, especially living and working in Victoria. We should not be basically lodging the applications showing your zero income, because we have seen that either your nomination application might be refused or you will not be considered eligible, because they have said that you must be living and working in Victoria in nominated occupation or skill level 1, 2, or 3. So again, Diljan, I think a couple of months back when this program started, we did the a session in regards to the requirement of the Victoria state nomination. So skill level 1, 2, or 3 is a mandatory sort of thing, and people were thinking like, okay, especially let's say for example 491, they're saying just submit the ROI. What state is expecting is, normally we are saying they are inviting candidates within 6 to 12 weeks. So they're expecting you to find a job and update your ROIs and stuff. That's what we suggest, guys, that if you are planning to move from other states, make sure you've got a job. Rather than we get a pre-invite, we do not have a job, and our application might get refused in future.
So like we're just talking about the zero income. So there's a question that has popped up here, and it's from Venkatesh, and he said that I have put my estimated annual income as 0. And what document do I need to submit in employment section? I'm onshore civil engineer, got invited today at 90 points without job.
See, that is the question now, Diljan, because while submitting at the ROI, he has said his income is 0.
Yeah.
Victoria may not invite this candidate because they are expecting you to live and work in Victoria. So again, what people are saying, that Victoria is saying, you'll be getting the invitations. But the thing is, what Victoria is expecting from you guys is that, submitting an ROI, they are giving you some time to find a job. It has to be in skill level 1, 2, or 3. I'll probably recommend you to, get some sort of a job which is related to your nominated occupation or skill level 1, 2, 3, and then lodge your nomination application.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining again. Those who have joined late, so we welcome you all on the show. And moving on to the next question, it's from Sandeep Kumar, and he's saying, welfare worker New South Wales 190. But sorry, we are not talking about New South Wales today. So we are focusing on Victoria. So maybe we would just leave this for now.
Yeah, if he's a welfare worker, you better come to Victoria. You might have a good news soon.
Yeah, okay. The next question is from Rohini, and he wants to know what about hospitality, cafe and restaurant manager?
Again, as I previously mentioned, Diljan, for some reason, I don't know why Victoria is not inviting trade occupations. Okay, given that, of course, they have mentioned they're going to give priority to health sector. And we do understand that, now we are seeing that not many nurses are left, and because most of the nurses are being invited for 189. So if, again, we should request those registered nurses that when you are lodging an application, we are seeing, Diljan, they are getting invitations for 189 as well. And they are getting invitations for 190 as well.
That's right.
They will end up lodging an application for 189, and their 190 will be wasted. So we will, basically request you guys that if you are that type of a candidate, that if you have been invited for 189 and you have been invited, let's say, for example, pre-invitation today itself, okay, you have been invited for 190, email the state government that, you have been invited for 189 and 190 further is not required.
Right, okay.
So that someone else can basically use that seat. And, people are still basically looking for those PR options. And, that seat might be helpful for someone else in future.
Okay, so moving on from trade, I would just like to add one more thing. Like we've seen a lot of talk about, Victoria inviting people from ITC, from engineering, and the nurses, We have not heard anything for the teachers, the early childhood. A lot of people are doing this course, and then they have like sort of a high expectation. So any good news for them at the moment?
Yes, teachers has been invited for 190 and 491 as well. So, like nowadays, because as the Premier has also announced that we require teachers for future as well. So yes, if you are, especially coming from a teaching background, I'll probably say there are high chances for getting 190. We've also seen, tutors who have been invited in the past for 491. So education, health, and IT, considering engineering as well, we are seeing that Victoria is giving, open invites, and considering the points, one of our candidate has been invited with 65 points for 190 early childhood teacher. The package was approximately $50,000.
Oh, see, that's great news.
Yes.
So anyone in that, those who have applied as an early childhood teacher, so maybe expect some good news in the near future, and we wish you all the luck. And like with the comments, what we are reading, most of them are based on trade courses, and people seem to be very frustrated with, not being selected and waiting for long. And one of those is Manpreet Singh. He said that I have applied for 491. Occupation is pastry cook, working as a pastry cook for 3 years now, earning around 60Ks. Any chances?
See, again, Manpreet, this occupation, you have chosen the right sort of, visa, which I would advise, which is 491. There are chances, but given that, Victoria is whether it's going to come up and start inviting candidates with 491 or not, that is the question, because we haven't seen many. We did saw some chef in last rounds. We may have some chefs in this round for 491. But apart from those occupations, any other occupations, we haven't seen any sort of invitations.
Okay.
So sometimes, Diljan, we are looking at, other options,
Yeah.
whether we should go for some other states.
Yes, absolutely.
So you should always discuss those options with your, Mara agent. That okay, we have done this for Victoria. Have you got any other option for outside Victoria while sitting in Victoria?
Yeah.
There might exist something for 491. So that's why it's always advised that don't just sit down, apply for one application and wait. I'll probably advise you that look for at least 3 to 4 options and start doing your things.
Yeah, that's what we have seen, when we have interaction with clients, and we talk to them, and then most of them basically we can say that they're in the comfort zone, they don't want to leave the state or the place they want to, they want PR, but they are not ready to move. So if somebody is in a situation waiting, for a certain occupation for a long time and nothing is happening, like Kamaljeet said, take advice, and see what is good for you. And if you find it suitable, maybe act on that advice, that will be a faster way, to get your permanent residency. And there's a thank you for us from Sna Hans. He's saying, hello, sir. Thanks for live session. Please tell me about computer networking points living in regional New South Wales, not working in own field. What are the chances? So what do you recommend? Move to Victoria?
See, yes, I'll probably advise you to, move to Victoria Regional, and try to find a job in skill level 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
Because New South Wales has, the type of changes they are going through, and we are seeing that they are, inviting those candidates who are having very sort of high score.
With high experience,
Yes.
a lot of experience, yeah.
So I'll probably say, coming up with your sort of a nominated occupation, 80 points, I'll probably say Victoria might be a stronger option.
Yeah, so guys, this year Victoria has been pretty, so to say, very helpful and lenient with their criteria, because they don't need you to be working in your nominated occupation, which is a relief for many people, because if you are in a certain occupation, it's very hard to find job in that occupation at that place you're living. So they have opened up more options with that skill level 1 to 3 and 1, 2, and 3 jobs. So anyone, it's basically it suits most of the people, those who are like working in any other profession at the same level, so it's a good news, and then we should make the most of it, since the conditions are the same.
One more thing, guys, I would like to mention here is that looking at the invitation sort of structure, what they are trying to invite the candidate is like, if you are claiming your partner points as an Australian citizen, we are seeing that those ones are getting invited first.
Okay.
And then they are inviting your skilled partner who has got the skill assessment and 6 in each. And then comes the single applicants.
Okay.
So there would be a lot of single applicants who will be sitting on those points and thinking, okay, I'm sitting on 90 points.
Yeah.
I've got a nice package. Why I have not been invited? Because there would be some other candidate who will also be sitting on 90 points, but claiming partner points. So this is the criteria, guys, where we are seeing that Victoria is focusing again, when this process came out, this Australian citizen single and skill, it was always given that the Australian citizen will be invited first and then the partner. And so yes, there are chances that in coming future, while Victoria has got a number of seats, ROI must be lodged in a proper way, so that when candidates get pre-invitations, we do not want them to get their nomination refused and get those sort of ban period before they can make another applications.
Yes, guys, moving on, that's thank you for that very valuable input. And like we have seen, candidates like getting invitation within a few weeks of applying, so but obviously they are lucky ones, but obviously they have been working hard. And the next question we would take is from Sharwani Reddy, and she says that I have 75 points and 110K package. Apply for 190 for telecommunications. Is there any chances of getting PR? I'm working in Victoria.
See, the thing here is, Shravani, is that you've got a nice package, but considering the points, try to go up to 85 or something. Okay, like if you can score at least, maybe you might not be, meeting those scores for superior English. So if you can, increase your points, there are chances. But again, keep your ROI there, because you've got a nice package, and we don't know how long you've been working for. So, but there are high chances. But with 75 points, it might be a question that when they're gonna come down on 75 points for 190.
All right. And next question we have is from Mirzan Ali Ahmed, and he's been trying for a few times, that, but I would like to read his question. He said that basically the information, he's in the telecommunication field, and as working as a telecommunication field engineer, and wants to know if 190, does he has any chance at the moment?
How many points we need for Victoria? Now, Victoria, the minimum points requires is 65, but of course, they're going to invite us on 65.
That's the question, yeah.
Yes, so the question here is, okay, what would be the best point? I will advise you to go at least 80 to 85 points if you are engineering candidate, and 85 to 90 points if you are IT candidate. With nurses, of course, we have seen invitations being given on, 70, some of the 70 to 75 or even 65, we are seeing candidates being invited. So yes, again, moreover, if you are accountant or external auditors, those type of candidates, I'll probably advise you that 491 would be a better option. Try to find a job in regional Victoria, and there are high chances that you might be invited for 491.
All right. Thank you, Kamaljeet. I hope, friends, we have been able to answer your questions as we go along. And if anybody has any more questions, please keep asking them. We are here to answer your questions. And like I told in the previous, like in this earlier part of this program, that we will try to answer as many as we can. The next one we will be taking it from Arslan Qureshi, and he wants to know that he's basically he's in working as an ITC business analyst, sitting on 85 plus 5 with a 100K package in Victoria for 190.
Now that's a good chance, Arsalan. First of all, because you are sitting on a nice package with 90 points. Okay, there are high chances. Given that there are a lot of candidates who might be sitting above you, we have seen invitations given to ICT business analyst on 95 points for 190, and we have seen another candidates being invited on 100 points for 190. So yes, you've got a strong chances. It's just a matter of time. Just sit down. If you can try to increase your points, just try to increase your points. Looking like at your case, maybe you might be married, and sometimes we are not able to get a partner skill points, but you are sitting on good points. I'll probably ask you to wait a little bit, and then we might have invitation soon.
All right, Kamalji, thank you for that. And I would just ask you, if you can, like talking about Victoria, those who are basically in the process of applying for, for EOI or ROI from now on, in the future. So what are the things they should consider, and how should they work to increase the points and to maximize the chances? What are the things that they need to do?
See, first of all, Diljan, people need to understand this terminology, which is called living and working in Victoria.
Yep.
We are seeing a lot of candidates who will come down to us, and they said, these friends helped them with their ROI, and now they have been invited, but they never knew they required a job and something. So again, it's always frustrating that the candidate will get pre-invitation, and then he might not be successful in getting the final invitation to lodge the visa. So it's always advisable that you must be dealing with a proper registered migration agent who comes up with the knowledge of how to give you a proper guidance on these visas. For IT candidates, as I previously mentioned, anything above 90 to 95 is good. You must have a strong package. Now, of course, when we are saying package, they are preferring strong packages which represents maybe your skill. That's how Victoria might be judging, or they are focusing on those kind of income which the tax, basically we should say, they are making out of you guys. But yes, if you're an IT candidate, try to make 85 to 90. If you're an engineering candidate, let's go on to 80 to 85. Considering teachers, we are seeing that 70 to 75 teachers are being invited. Now the major one would be enrolled nurses. Enrolled nurses, if you guys can pick up your points higher to something like 80, given that sometimes with the registration, because proficient 7 in each is required for the registration, and people get lazy that I've got those many points, I'm sitting on 70 points, I might get the invite. It's always good, guys, that Victoria is very consistent, getting consistent now, inviting candidates. So I'll probably say most of the candidates will be getting the pre-invitations. Just try to increase your points and make sure you've got a nice package.
All right. So yeah, like we just discussing with the regular clientele which we have, there are a lot of questions that come up now and then. One question that comes up regularly is that I have I'm sitting on so many points, but I'm working from home. That am I eligible and all those stuff. So what is the criteria? So
See
people
that
need to understand.
yes, in that situation, the young people need to understand that what Victoria is looking for a physical location of the office.
Okay.
Okay, working from home and your company is maybe located in Queensland or maybe your company is located in New South Wales, not gonna do us anything better.
Yep.
Okay, so you must have a physical location. So that's always advised that candidates who are looking for job, make sure your offices have a physical sort of
Physical,
location.
okay.
Yes, because what we are seeing is that Victoria is basically trying to see that how are you basically managing clients in
Yeah.
Victoria.
Yeah.
So it can't be that okay, you are sitting in Victoria and then you are managing Queensland clients,
yeah, okay.
or you're managing New South Wales clients. It doesn't make any basically sense for Victoria to
yes.
invite you if you're helping some other states.
Yeah, so basically they just want people to work in Victoria and help the people from the state itself.
That's
So
right.
that is what they want. And guys, like he's made it clear. So if you're working from home or you plan to work in any sector, try to find a physical office or location where you have a regional address or a Victorian address, so that it's easier for you to get an invitation, and then when required you can provide all the required documentations. That would be pretty nice to have that. And moving on to the questions, we would just like to take one from Paras Sindhi. He said that ITC business analyst, 85 plus 5, 63 package. Any chance?
See, there are chances, Paras, but
Yeah.
there are a lot of people who are sitting on more
Yeah.
packages than you,
Yeah,
because
I was wondering,
again, I don't know why Victoria is basically coming up with the situation of this packages. I'll probably say Victoria should more focus on first,
skills. Yeah.
yes, skills, and the person who lodges the first UI
Mhm.
must be given the preferences,
Preference,
or how long you've been in Victoria, and those kind of things. So in
Absolutely.
your case, I'll probably advise you that we might have to wait a little bit,
Mhm.
because the package might be a concern, because a lot of candidates, especially the ICT business analyst, which we have seen, are strong candidates sitting above 100K.
Yeah, but like we were just going through the list, and it just came to mind just right now, that we've read all the occupations, but today we did not talk anything about the nurses. So did we have anything for nurses today, or?
See, first of all, Diljan, probably the people who are watching this show, I'll probably tell you, 99% of those people will not be nurses. Okay, because of course nurses are invited for 189, nurses are being invited for 190. Some situation, if I was that candidate, I'm looking for PR, might get even frustrated with nurses. In the sense, I might get jealous. I shouldn't be using that word frustrated. I might be getting jealous that only nurses are being invited. Okay, but yes, nurses are being invited, given that 70 to 75 points is the margin. With the packages, they are not that, Victoria is not worrying about that much, and very lenient with nurses, requesting for documents, and and treating them very sort of in a luxury manner. But yes, but I don't think so. And nurses will be watching this show and discussing, that whether I'm gonna get an invitation or not. Of course, you're gonna get an invitation. Make just more or less just make sure you're lodging your ROI and EOI in a proper manner, so that again disappointment doesn't kick in future.
All right. So just going back to the trade occupations like we were discussing, and we have seen in this invitation on today that not many occupations, not many invitations have been given from the data which we have. So it may be different from other groups and other branches. Yeah. So, but again, so what would you suggest, those for those applicants who have been waiting and waiting, maybe for a 4 9 months sitting in regional. So should they wait for some time, or should they look at other options of like changing state, going to moving to South Australia or Western Australia, something like that?
See, with the trade occupations, Diljan, I'll probably say West South Australia would be a preferable state, because we are seeing invitations given by South Australia. We are seeing invitations being given by Western Australia. So there are some states which are giving preferences trade occupation, considering Victoria. I don't know why they are not giving invitations for 190. Even with 491, we are not seeing that big margin sort of occupations.
That's right. Yeah.
So yes, again, then the question rises is when I should plan to start relocating,
Mhm.
I'll probably advise you, let's wait until March, April.
March, April. Okay.
Yes, because still, we have number of seats. If the point system comes down,
Okay.
because all these candidates looking at who are working
Yep.
with the strong packages and stuff might be on different sort of, 482 visas,
Yep.
people who are coming straight on skilled
Skilled,
visas.
yeah, okay.
So again, there might not be that many people.
Mhm.
Okay, but we are looking that if the point system might come down, there are chances they'll start inviting trade occupations.
All right. So, talking about invitations, can you tell me, like, the viewers basically, so when, till when can they, is Victoria accepting, all these invitation ROIs?
Said May next year, they're going to be, the applications will be open.
Okay.
So yes, again, the applications being open, and they are sending all these messages to people that do not withdraw your ROI. You're eligible and this and that.
Yep.
But we are seeing that candidates are not being invited.
Okay.
So I'll probably advise, guys, that let's at least wait a little bit.
Okay.
Okay, because the points and the packages are still too high considering IT sector. We are seeing 95 to even 100 points for ICT business analyst. So there are candidates who are from other states.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, they are holding high points, but candidates who are in Victoria with less packages might have to wait.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining once again. I would just like to take the next question. It's from Shahzeb Zahid, and he's saying that he's a mechanical engineer at 75 plus 5 points with a 95K package. Any chances for him as a mechanical engineer based on the current?
See, mechanical engineer, you are sitting on nice points.
Yeah.
Okay, 80 points, your package is nice. But again, whether when we are considering your points, 75, try to make it 85. I think you are lagging on those 80 in each situation. So yes, I'll probably advise you, let's try and get, because your package is very nice. You might be getting invitations, pretty quick. It's just more or less how many points you are sitting on.
Okay, thanks Kamaljeet for that. And guys, just would like to just reconfirm that we are sitting here at Collins Street branch, and if you need help with any of your migration inquiry, maybe for a skills assessment or a visa application or ROI, EOIs, you're more than welcome here, and we would be looking forward to help you and sort out issues. If you have any queries, give us a call. We can answer the queries as well. And moving on to the next question, we would just take it from from Krishna, and he says that I have submitted 190 to Victoria for 95 points offshore on 13 November. I haven't been I have not received invite. Does it need some buffer period on ROIs? I'm not sure.
See, Krishna, first of all, you have recently submitted your ROI, okay, which is only 13th of November. We have seen candidates who have submitted their ROIs going back a couple of months. Okay, so I'll probably say you might have to wait a little bit, okay, because again, given that because you are from offshore, they are giving preference to candidates who are from onshore. Of course, some of them, being invited from offshore, but in our case, I'll probably say we might have to wait in you.
Okay, the next question we will take is from Anish Sharma. Yes, everyone is basically like sitting on nice points, and just waiting. Like we're talking about, frustration is creeping in. And he said that he's working as a support engineer at 95, single applicant. Any chances?
See, as I've mentioned, Anish, that, when they are selecting candidates, they are giving preference to candidates who are skilled partners or Australian citizens, or who this skilled partners, we have got 6 each and skill assessment, and then comes a single applicant. So we might have to wait again a little bit, but you are sitting on 90 plus 5 points. Yeah. But you never mentioned any kind of a salary package, because that will also, basically be counted. So I'll probably ask you, in your situation, if your package is nice, just wait a little bit, you might have a good news. Okay, and we have a question from Justina, and it says that any chances for personal care worker? Jacinta, first of all, her personal care worker, I think she's working as a PCA. PCA, yeah. Yes, so I don't think so. You are eligible self for 190. So you have to make sure you consult a registered migration agent to understand what occupations are itself considered for 190 and 491 visas. and then you have to obtain skill assessment in those occupations, and then only you'll be eligible for these visas.
Okay. And Kamal, there's a question from Kuldeep, and he said that any chance with 70 points on IT, maybe
See,
other options for him.
yes, Kuldeep, any chance with 70 points in IT, I'll probably say for 491.
Okay.
There might be chances if you're living and working in the regional, but itself, if you are saying for 190, I'll probably say it will be very hard.
Yeah,
Yes, hard in the sense, if you want to, listen the true answer, I'll probably say, let's start discussing some other states.
Okay, guys, that's very helpful that people are joining in, and then having this query sorted out with our experienced migration agent, Mr. Kamaljeet Singh. So if you have any queries in the future, or you still need some more further information, you can always contact him. There will be all the details on the website you're watching, with all the contact numbers and the office address as well. So before this, we would just move on to take our next question, and it is from Niyati Gajar Patel. And he says, what are the chances with 80 plus 5 points, developer, programmer living in Victoria, working in skill level 2, package 90K? What are the chances?
Now, see again, there is nice chance because we have itself got invitations on 85 points for 190. There are strong chances in Niyati. I'll probably advise you just hang in there. If your ROI is in process, just wait a little bit, and there are chances that you will be given the invitations soon.
Okay, thanks for that. And moving on, there's a question from Salman. It's Salman Mohammed. He said that I have a doubt that I have completed my graduation in India in BCom. Can I apply skilled course in chef? I think related to some sort of a student visa or something.
See, if you are offshore, that might be a question itself, whether you are a genuine temporary entrant or not.
That's right.
But if you are in Australia, I'll probably ask you to come and visit our, education team who can assist you with courses who are much more relevant, with your studies and your experience.
All right. And Ryzen Palmer wants to know that will single applicant be given priority, which we have already discussed, that they are prioritizing people and applicants, those who have skilled partners or Australian citizen partners, so or we have already cleared that thing. So yeah, obviously that's not the end of the thing, but obviously if you go by the ladder, that is how they are doing it at the moment. And I think that should answer your query. Moving on, we have a question from Vikram Mahal, and he says, ICT cybersecurity specialist with 80 plus 5, any chance 60K package?
Your package is a question, Vikram. Okay. You are sitting on 80 points. That means either you are lagging skilled partner points or you are lazy with your English score. So I'll probably advise you to make sure you increase your scores. Okay. And there are chances that you might be given invitations, but your package and points, I'll still advise you, to increase them a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yes, there are high chances then.
Well, the next question is very similar to the first one, and it's from Kevin Chun, and is asking any ICT security invitations in this round today.
Yes, we have seen one of the ICT security specialists has been given the invitations for 190. The invitation was given on 100 points. The candidate was holding, basically 95 points by himself, which means he's been working for 1 year in their nominated occupation. Okay, so yes, there are chances now they have started giving invitations to ICT security specialists as well.
So still we are on the ICT, so we'll just take a similar question, and it's from Nepalipan, and he says that what would you suggest would be the nice package for ICT security specialist for a 190?
See, first of all, I'm not an IT person. I don't know how, what kind of these roles and what kind of company we are talking about. But when you are questioning about what kind of candidates are being invited, so any candidates, what all these, we are getting the invitations is something more than 70K.
70K.
But depending upon your work experience or something is your package, which I'll probably say if I'm your employer, if, I'm basically wants to employ you, I have to look at a lot of things, what background you are coming from, what kind of experience you're holding. So this question itself is, pretty sort of a confusing question, like what sort of a salary package is depends upon your work experience. and the skills which you are gonna be giving and will be beneficial to my company.
Okay. So moving on, we would just take another one question, and that says that's from Sriram, and he says that hi, I have 90 plus 5 points. Quantity surveyor, single, not working in occupations, pay 85K. Any chances for 190?
See, 190, there are chances, but given that again, whether they're gonna invite that occupation or not,
yeah, that's
that
right.
is the question.
Question.
So quantity surveyor, again, there are chances when we are following into those sort of, engineering roles or construction roles. This occupation is very nice. Many candidates would be sitting in there. Your package is very nice. I'll probably ask you to wait a little bit because when, they have started inviting other occupations like enroll nurses and stuff. Let's see if they start inviting candidates basically in quantity surveying as well.
Okay, thank you for that. And guys, like I said, we just have a lot of questions, so it's very hard for us to answer all of them. So we just are taking the last question for tonight, and that is from 1 second. That's from Zoheb. So he said the health. I'm working with the Department of Health as a senior Power B developer at 90 points with a 100K package. No invitation. Any suggestions?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Zohaib, what kind of skill assessment you have got. So you're working with the health Department of Health as a senior Power B developer. We have to see what kind of skill assessment you are into. Okay, your points are nice, your salary package is nice. You might have an invitation soon as well. So depending upon when you have submitted your ROI,
yeah.
I'll probably say just hang in there. There are chances you'll be getting the invitation.
All right. Thank you, Kamaljeet. That was a very informative session. A lot of people, applicants may have got the education, and what some sort of answers to what they had in their mind, and we have cleared a few doubts as well. So thanks everyone for joining us tonight, and thank you, Kamaljeet, for answering all the questions, and giving us and educating us on the criteria and the invitation rounds and everything. So looking forward to everyone joining us once again in the next live session. So we will be keeping you updated with the topics, and the dates and times of the session. And thank you from my side, and leave it to Kamaljeet. Say you goodbye.
Yes, guys, if you are in Victoria, Diljan, before leaving this session, I would say just hang in there. If you are IT candidate, engineering candidate, of course, health sector, we shouldn't be worrying about. But if you are a trade candidate, try to see for 491 option. Okay, there are chances you might be invited for 491. But again, do not waste too much time because time is basically the key for the candidate to choose other states and see if some other state is more beneficial.
Yep.
So again, hopefully, we might see some more invitations coming from states. Invitations we are even, expecting 189.
Absolutely,
might be coming anytime soon. So there are chances, that people, we are seeing that there are good news and ongoing invitations, and hopefully everybody will get permanent resident of Australia.
Yeah,
So that's it from my side, guys. And thanks, Diljan, for having us on the live session. And we'll see you next time for a different sort of topic, or if there are any updates from the department.
All right.
Until then, see you soon.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.